Hey everybody, Scott Dillon here from Solace, and wanted to introduce you to the latest piece of content that we are now making available to all SAP BTP customers, which is the SAP Solace Digital Rapid Pilot. So we have been delivering a rapid pilot workshop over the past 2 years that has seen great success. Hundreds of people have been enabled on some of the fundamental event-driven architecture concepts that you can see outlined here in the goal, which is to show people how to use EDA to achieve a modern, flexible, modular environment using BTP, which is the goal, to make sure people understand how they can really scale iFlows, business process automation, any one of their applications, and of course, all complying to Clean Core. So what we've done is we've taken a portion of the content, not all of it, but a portion of the content that we do in the kind of the virtual event for 4 half days, and created some additional handouts and some videos. So that's just in case you can't join the 4 days back to back, you can make your way through it as time permits. And so on the screen, you will see a quick depiction of the scenario, and we chose the material master distribution scenario because it is a popular one with SAP, and it's one that we think is well suited to demonstrate the concepts behind a publish and subscribe model, which is you publish once, and then you can have many applications that flexibly, on their own terms, get access to that data. And it's, the analogy that I use all the time is like when you're using YouTube and you want to subscribe to a channel, you don't have to call up YouTube. You just go on and say, boop, subscribe to this channel, whatever content that it is that interests you, and away you go. So it should be that simple. So here you can see we have an ERP system, very traditional master data using the material, and it's being published, made available. And then we have 3 systems that are picking up, which is very common, whether it's a business partner, material, chart of accounts. So that's the business scenario that we wrap it around. And then what you will see here, more of a technical view, and it's a high level technical view, but the concepts, the core concepts are here, which is you have an SAP or non-SAP system that is your system of record for that master data, and then it publishes the event, which would be the material change or the material create or the business partner change or the material business partner update, and makes that available to the advanced event mesh. And then from there, one or more applications can then express an interest. This is the wording that we use to subscribe to something. You express an interest based on a topic. So if you wanted to get access to materials that have been created, you would simply say, I want to subscribe to materials that were created. And from that second forward, you'd be getting a real-time feed every single time the system of record, whether it's SAP or non-SAP, is producing that record. So theoretically, no more out of sync conditions, no more people asking, oh, is this really up to date with here? The answer would be, yes, it is up to date. And it's as of, a tenth of a second ago, which is the idea. And then, of course, we do have some really key services on this particular picture. So you can see that we have on the bottom SAP BPA, business process automation. So what we did here is we built a really simple master data governance solution. And by simple, I mean the record comes in and you approve or reject it. And then, you have 2 buttons, approve and reject, and that's pretty much it. But it's just to illustrate the concept that the service itself, business process automation, is already event enabled. So business process automation can react to things in real time, which is great. We also have a UI5 application, which we're using to simulate the new records coming in to be approved, just to show that UI5 can be a producer of events and it can be a consumer of events. Just to the right of that, we've got the Solace Event Portal. So the idea would be, if you start to be event-driven in your organization, how do architects, solution advisors understand what's available at the enterprise level to be used as an event? Well, it's very simple. You would log into the event portal, just like you would log into an API portal, and you would see what events are there. The good news is with eventing, what you're getting is an event all the time. The way you get access to it is always the same. You're always subscribing. So that's why when someone says, hey, do I need to get training on how to subscribe to a different YouTube channel? Well, of course not. You could subscribe to woodworking, electronics, microservices, AI through the same mechanism, subscribe to different channels and away you go. It's the same thing with event-driven architecture. Once you start publishing events, which is where the flexibility and the time to market comes to, once you know how to subscribe, the only thing you need to know then is what topic to subscribe to, which is where the event portal comes into play. And then last but not least, you have these iFlows. So of course, thousands of customers are using SAP integration suite, specifically cloud integration, to do their app-to-app integration. Amazing tool set. But what if I could kind of twist the paradigm a little bit or switch it up a little bit and say, well, from now on, instead of these iFlows processing hundreds or thousands of records as part of a scheduled batch iFlow that is, batch orientated, how about if I had every iFlow reacting to things as they were happening? So as a sales order is created, and if it's on its way to, say, Salesforce, SAP would generate the event, the iFlow would kick off immediately, do the transformation, and then apply it like it always had, but it would only be doing one at a time. And then if that master data had to go to more than one place, instead of having one iFlow that was branching it, where the iFlow was getting more and more complex, we would have many small iFlows, less time to run it, less complexity to debug, less complexity to maintain. List of advantages is pretty long. So that's kind of the summary of that. Now, in terms of what it looks like, let's have a quick look here. So for example, this would be the event portal. So what you're looking at now is the event portal where someone would say, oh, look at that, this ERP system. And if I tell you that the direction of the arrow indicates the flow and the direction of the event, I could quickly look here and say, oh, look at that. There's a business partner change event being broadcasted by the ERP system, and that business partner change event is being consumed by a couple of different applications. And if you don't happen to be the visual type, you could pop over here and you could go in the tabular form, and then I could do a search. Well, so your question is, do I have an event for business partner? I type in a few characters and boom, I've got the events listed that the enterprise is making available for internal and or external parties. Imagine exposing your inventory counts to your third-party suppliers so they know as of the second when their product is getting low on their shelf. So that's an interesting scenario. So now here's the working scenario. So if I put I've got this pre-filled out here. Let's put in a different number here just to make sure that what you're seeing is accurate and not fake and bake. So I can submit a record here on the left. So this integration card, standard SAP technology, is publishing that event. And then what you can see on this side is that we've got another card that is subscribing to it. So it's like any other UI5 application, the difference being there's no button, as you can see on there, for a refresh. So this application is always on, it's always listening. So immediately you're being notified. So think of a service technician that he or she has a card up on their mobile phone or on their desktop. And as soon as a work order would come in, boom, they would be seeing it, as opposed to having to hit a refresh or a sync on their device. So anyway, so there's a publisher, there's a consumer. Now, what's interesting is if I pop over here quickly to my business process automation inbox and now hit the refresh, what we're going to see is that we've now got that record. And you see here, I put the 580 just so you would believe me that it's true. So I'm hitting the event or the new business partner to be approved. Immediately, business process automation kicks off and goes there. And now at the bottom, what you will see is that there are two buttons only, approve or reject. So now when I approve it, what happens is it's going to be processed. A new event will be published back to the event mesh. And then what do I want to have happen? Well, now I've got the quote unquote approved record, the one that should be represented and pushed to all the different applications. So we pop over here now to integration suite, and we see that we have one iFlow representative of what you will do in the digital wrap-up pilot. And here we have the sender, and it's using the advanced event mesh adapter. So it's constantly available for these records that are being approved. So it's a very simple iFlow to say, look, if you had a third-party system that was using a HTTP endpoint, we could bring it in. And if I now pop over to the monitor, I can see it's already been executed, successfully completed. And the point here is that as part of the digital wrap-up pilot, we'll show you how to do all of this, number one. But number two, yes, we have one endpoint now, but you could add 3, 4, 5 with no effect on the existing production artifacts. And this is where the flexibility comes in, the flexibility to evolve your landscape without affecting anything that's currently running. So that's the idea, everybody. I hope that gives you a sense for what the digital wrap-up pilot is. We'll be walking you through all of that with various handouts and things like that. There will be maybe 5 to 6 video clips, maybe the same as this, maybe a little bit longer, that will introduce the portion you're working on. Then there'll be a corresponding hangout or handout that you can use to follow through. And we will give you all of our email addresses, everybody that's on my team, so that if you get stuck, we'll get you unstuck. So look forward to seeing you in the next video. Everybody take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.